Okay, so welcome back to your next lesson. In this lesson, we are going to be practicing your long forward stance. So as you can see, I've got Sensei Jane here with me. She's my assistant chief instructor. So I'm going to be using Sensei Jane to help you guys learn the different aspects of each stance that we go through. Okay, so let's get into it. So if Sensei Jane wants to come in forward. So we're going to be practicing a stance called Zen Kusaruch long forward stance. Okay, so I'm going to put Sensei Jane into the stance, then explain for you what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to put your right leg back into Zen Kusaruch long forward stance. Right? Okay, so first thing to notice is the width of the stance. So as I stand behind Sensei Jane, you can see this foot is clearly here, and this foot is clearly here. Big mistake most beginners do, they have this foot behind this one. Okay, so if I just get Sensei Jane to do that, so you can see now, the stance is very, very in line, but her balance will be very, very bad. Okay, whereas if she puts the foot out to the side, where it should be, now she's more solid from the side. Okay, and it gives you more balance. So that's the first and most important thing, making sure you keep this width of the stance. Also, shoulders and hips are square, facing forward. Guard is up, but not blocking your vision. Okay, the other hand is across your chest. Now, there's quite a lot to learn on this stance, so you're probably going to have to watch this tutorial quite a few times to get really down with this. So the back leg is locked in as straight as it will go. Okay, it's going to want to bend. We need to keep the heel planted to the floor. The back heel needs to be planted. Now, if you take note of Sensei Jane's foot, you will see that it's coming out here. It's coming off to an angle. Okay, so we need to try and get this foot as far this way as we possibly can. Okay, so it should be pointing off to an angle. It's going to want to come out this way. Okay, we don't want that. We want to make sure it's coming as far forward this way. Okay, now on the front leg, we're totally bent. The knee is directly over the shin. But if you look at the front foot, it's straight from toe to heel. So the foot is slightly turned in, and you're gripping the floor with your toes. Scrunch the toes into the floor, making sure this toe and this heel are in line. And the last thing to look for is this knee is going to want to do this. It's going to want to drop in to there, okay? So we need, that is a bad stance. We don't want it. You can see there straight away, Sensei Jane's muscle memory is pushing that straight back out. So then she'll push back out, and she's pushing over and forward and locked in. Okay, so these are all things you need to check for when you're training at home, looking in the mirror, ensuring that you're getting all of these checkpoints in there. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to change legs. Okay, so I want you to get into your stance now. Okay, come out. So just check, just go through all the little checkpoints that you've done with, that I've just gone over with Sensei Jane. Hips and shoulders are square, pushing the knee out, front foot is straight on the outside edge, back foot is pointing off 45 degrees, back leg is nice and locked in straight. Okay, now we're going to change legs on the spot. Now when we change legs, you'll see Sensei Jane comes up to about here. She doesn't put her feet together, she'll put her foot one shoulder width wide, and then she'll step back with the other leg. So on the word kamai, you'll change legs by stepping up and stepping back. Kamai. Okay, so again, I want you to look for these checkpoints straight away. Make sure this foot isn't behind this one. Okay, big one. That is the big one. Make sure that foot is one shoulder width wide. Make sure this back foot is turning 45 degrees to the room. It's not coming out this way, it's that way. Make sure the back leg is locked in straight. Make sure the guard is in front of the rib cage. Other hand is not blocking vision. Okay, front leg, again, knee is directly over the ankle. Front foot is straight on the outside edge. We're pushing the knee outwards, gripping the floor with the toes. Okay, again, a lot to take in. Very difficult stance to get good at. Okay, so you're going to have to practice this one a lot. Now, just to finish off, we're just going to change legs on the spot to the count. But try and look for the checkpoints as you're changing. As a beginner, you're probably going to have to look down and check things. But as you move through the belts, try and get away from looking at your feet and feel for the stance. Okay, you'll feel that you're in the right position. So we're going to change legs, just slow pace on the next few counts. Edge. Knee. San. Chi. Go. Rook. And stepping up, Yame. Good stuff. Thank you, Sensei Jane. So as you could see there, the feet never came together. When Sensei Jane was changing legs, her feet were never together. They were always one shoulder width wide. Okay, so that's it for the Zenku Sadutsu long forward stance. I'll see you in your next lesson.